So the first exercise we're going to look at is we're going to look at what we call like calf raises on the actual balance pads, discs to start. Now, you're going to need some type of stick, and we have the Pep Fast training sticks because I use these because they have a little bit more anti-shock abilities, so you can kind of lean into it and be able to absorb some of the force in your body, so most of your lower body complex is being utilized and you're not just putting all the force into the sticks. Now, you can get these sticks or you can use any sticks that feels comfortable for you. Now, I'm going to get up onto the board, and I got to make sure that my foot, and we know that the ability comes through that ball at foot through pushing off, through jumping and sprinting. So I got to make sure that the beginning and the front of my foot is on the actual balance pad itself. So I get up onto the balance pad, and if you're a first-time user of this, you maybe want to just kind of stand on here for maybe about a minute or two and just feel what it feels like to balance on here. Now, you could do it on turf or carpet to start. As you can see, I'm on turf. And then as you get stronger and you get better balance, you can get onto a harder surface. So you want to make sure at all times that this balance pad, the disc, this wood does not touch the ground. You want to make sure that you stay on the ball of the actual disc pad so it doesn't hit. That's where you're going to get a lot of that strength in that foot. So I'm going to get onto my pads. Once you feel and you understand the abilities on the pad and you feel comfortable on it, I'm going to start to do a calf raise. Now, if you come down here, I'm going to get as high as I can onto my toes, making sure that my toe is straight and that my knee and my hips are square. And you can see I'm very high and that my heel comes right up, and I build the arches through my feet, and I'm also hitting that musculature in my calf and Achilles area. This is this right here in our calves. You're going to get about 30 to 40% explosive power through your calves, so you better make sure this is an area that's addressed and you're working that musculature. So then I'm going to come down, drop my heels, but not touch the ground, and then come right back up into those toes. I'm pushing my big toe, pinky toe, and all the other toes in between through the ball of the pad and then coming right back down. And I like to go all the way up, hold for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then come all the way down. Now, it looks fairly easy for me doing it, but I've been doing it for a lot of years, and that's what allows me to be very explosive. But when you first get on here, it takes a tremendous amount of balance. And you can see that I don't put a lot of pressure into the sticks. Once you start to feel comfortable, a less pressure, it goes onto the sticks. These are just here to allow you to keep structure and keep sound and keep tall. And you can see that I keep my chest up nice and high. I'm looking straight ahead. You will start to feel, after about 3 to 5 reps, your calves and your feet really burning because they haven't been through this type of strenuous exercises in a long time. The only time you're really working that calf musculature is through jumping or sprinting. And this is an area in the gym that needs to be addressed. Now, when you come down here, so come here for a second, you can start to see my muscle groups. Well, there's not a ton of muscle in the foot. There's a lot more bone, but you can start to see some of the veins and striations in my actual foot start to light up when I get onto this. That means I know that it's starting to work. It's starting to really utilize the pad, and it's starting to really fire up that whole lower part of my foot. Now, also, what's really great about learning and implementing the strength training with our feet on the pads, that a lot of us athletes, we have a flat foot. And that's just through our shoe and the different types of things that we wear, is that we start to rely on that shoe wear, which will start to have that navicular bone drop, which puts now a lot of strain on my Achilles tendon, and you'll start to see some of that wrinkles down here into my feet because I start to now impinge the joint. If my foot is not strong, like we said before, then I start to get a lot of weakness. So then when I walk and take steps and start to run, if my navicular bone has dropped, now I can start causing issues all the way up the chain from my knee. So if you can see my navicular bone drop and I get that wrinkle in there and impingement in my joint, my knee now shifts in, my hip shifts in, my core is not as stable all the way up to my shoulders. And because of this issue and this problem in sports and in training, this is where a lot of the knee injuries will happen. So we have designed this specifically to not just strengthen the feet, but to now strengthen up the rest of the chain to be in proper alignment. So when you're cutting and you're doing your multi-directional exercises and you're doing your explosive jumps and sprints, you're in good alignment, and you have now started from the bottom of that chain and that structure of that musculature to help you through all your movements. Start off with just this exercise of just going up and down and just learning that proper angle of where you should be on your toes. And I guarantee you will unlock potential that you have never unlocked before because you're strengthening a muscle that maybe you have never touched before. I'll see you guys next time.